career of Marc Marquez has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Before he had even got into MotoGP, he has had some incredible moments. From Estoril and that epic bike rebuild job in Moto3, to nearly punting Rafa Park-Willerot halfway to China and nearly ending his own career with a damaged retina, and even going from last to first to win his final Moto2 race in Valencia. The man has been a game changer in a sport that was crying for a new character to give the series a kick up the arse, when you had a dominant Rossi, a relatively tame Jorge, and a Stoner who never really wanted to be there. So when Casey Stoner made way for him in 2013, much was to be made about a 20-year-old double world champion being thrust into the limelight. But from the start, Marquez was incredible. He won his second ever class race at COTA, and of course would go on to win the championship as a rookie, and then would dominate 2014, winning the first 10 races and breaking Mick Doohan's record for winning 13 in a single season. But despite incredible highs, there's been controversial lows in his career as well. In his rookie season, his style of riding was often criticised for being overly aggressive. He copied Valentino Rossi's famous Gibernau pass at Jerez on Jorge Lorenzo. He tried to go around the outside of Pedrosa and Aragon, whacked out his traction control cord, and caused him to have a massive accident. In 2015, with a bike that was even more unforgiving, he crashed 6 times in a season where he still would have had a legitimate chance of winning the championship in. By the time he got to the end of last season, the discipline of Marquez as a rider had come into question after getting nearly everything in his own way in his career to date. And when the Sepang incident happened, it all got nasty. Marquez labelled a crasher, a race rigger, and someone accused of helping Rossi's nemesis win the championship. But Marquez handled that situation incredibly well, always offering the handshake to Rossi, something we eventually got 6 months later. And in a season when the morale in the Honda camp was stupidly low, in a season where we all thought that Yamaha was going to run away with it, Marquez has learnt you don't need to throw the bus to win every single Grand Prix. A risk-free second is sometimes far better than gambling and finishing with a DNF. And it's shown. Marquez by this time last year had 3 major crashes and his title campaign was practically over. Now he's finished on the podium in all but one race, won 3 times, and most importantly, has stopped the reckless crashing. Germany last weekend was a Marquez masterclass. In a race where he'd hit the gravel already, dropping to 9th with a 24-point lead in the championship, he changed for slicks on a drying Saxon ring, his best circuit, a hellacious gamble given the circumstances, and would go on to win by nearly 20 seconds. A 23-year-old Marquez outsmarted the entire field and made the number 1 guy in the sport look foolish. Except he didn't, because Valley isn't the man anymore. It's Marc Marquez. He has no weakness in his game anymore, where his 2 biggest rivals in Valley and Jorge are either poor strategists or have lost all their confidence in the wet. I'm actually more impressed with Marquez now than in 2014, where he had that streak. We might be seeing a legitimate situation where a man on the second best bike can go on to win the championship. In March I thought it was unthinkable, but to be in that situation and be up nearly 50 points is a testament to Marquez's newfound consistency and Yamaha letting their guard down in a season they should be obliterating. And on top of that, he's still not only one of the greats, but he's also incredibly entertaining. His run down the circuit of America's pit lane before setting one of the great MotoGP quali laps had to be seen to be believed, as well as just a month ago where he was seen stealing a photographer's scooter in Assen to get back to the pits. Marquez is already a phenom. On the brink of the all-time pole position record, he's just one away from Mick Doohan for 6th on the all-time wins list. He has 4 world titles and still isn't 24 until February. And not to mention, one of the most charming and likeable personalities this sport has seen since Valentino. He's exactly what we needed, someone to reset the rulebook and the perception of what we knew about bike riding. Oh, and he's learned to stop crashing. If you're not terrified by that prospect, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I know many have had question marks about the future of a sport where Valley was the dominant figure and what would happen next. But for me, with Maverick Vinales coming along and Marquez maturing into one of the greatest riders we've ever seen, the future of the sport is in very safe hands, which given they belong to Marc Marquez is almost an irony in itself.